Hi. Being retired from the Archaeological Survey of India, I know few things about the cultural heritage, particularly the archaeological heritage of Sri Lanka, that really impresses me. Of course, I have never visited Sri Lanka at any point of my time, but I love to visit because I know few things that really impressed me. In fact, both India and Sri Lanka, we share a common cultural platform, and which is very similar. And both this country, we have got a great history that really shows the cultural and trade contact in the past, whether it is in the field of Buddhism or the connection of the great epic Ramayana. Both India and Sri Lanka have a long history of archaeological research. I have no occasion to visit Sri Lanka. That's really pity. But as a part of ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, where I served for nearly 30 years, I understand certain aspects of Sri Lankan archaeology or the cultural history. The creation of the government archaeological body, both in India and Sri Lanka, took place almost at the same time. And I'm happy to learn that the archaeology in Sri Lanka is going to celebrate its 131st year on 7th July. When I look back into the history of archaeological research in both the countries, we have an excellent rapport between the archaeologists in the past and even today. Many of the Indian archaeologists have worked in Sri Lanka, and many of the archaeologists from Sri Lanka have been trained on Indian soil. I remember one of the finest research journal in archaeology, which is called Ancient Ceylon. It was almost in the same line when Government of India, Archaeological Survey of India was publishing its archaeological research bulletin in the name of Ancient India. How similar it is. We had Ancient India, one of the finest archaeological research journal by the Government of India, and similarly in Government of Sri Lanka is still publishing, which is called Ancient Ceylon. Thanks to the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka. And as I know, Sri Lanka being a very small country, one need to appreciate when we look into the vast number of archaeological remains. As I understand, more than 250,000 gazetted archaeological sites are there in Sri Lanka, which is really appreciated. 2.5 lakhs, it's really. And being a very small country, I must appreciate there are 7 World Heritage Sites and 3 are all in the pipeline, which are in the tentative list. How it is possible? It's because of the constant efforts of the archaeologists of Sri Lanka. Their devotion for the country, the devotion for for the cultural heritage of the country. That has brought 7 World Heritage Sites onto the list. Another thing, I'm really fascinated with the Sri Lankan archaeological sites is its management. I remember in some of the forums, international forum, where I participated as the part of the Archaeological Survey of India, we had a long discussion about the management of the archaeological sites. That's of course a long back. I met my counterpart from the government of Sri Lanka in that meeting, and I must appreciate it was the efforts of government of Sri Lanka was appreciated in that forum for one of the finest management of the sites. And we can see that on paper. That one should learn, many of the countries need to learn the management side of the archaeological sites. I do understand tourism is one of the major source of income for the government of Sri Lanka, and it's there. I understand the legislation in Sri Lanka, heritage related legislation, is very effective. I must cite one thing. The heritage impact assessment is just wonderful. And the government of Sri Lanka Archaeology Department, they have done excellent heritage impact assessment, which forms part of the Environmental Impact Assessment Act of Sri Lanka. And as I understand, one of the finest heritage impact assessment was done, which is very well known all over the world, is Northern Express Project, NEP, which is done in 2014. And if I tell the truth, this heritage impact assessment, we must learn. Even when I am talking from Indian soil, I learn many things and appreciate this heritage impact assessment efforts by the government of Sri Lanka. And another sphere is the adaptive reuse of heritage. It's beautifully done. And it's a very, very positive attitude towards the presentation of our heritage buildings by the government of Sri Lanka Archaeology Department. As I understand, Dutch Museum in Colombo is one of the finest examples. Like that, there are many sites. Today, when I evaluate the quality of research in Sri Lankan archaeology, I'm fascinated. Right from prehistoric sites up to the very recent archaeological evidences, large number of sites have been excavated, published and presented in the international forum. Really, I must congratulate on this occasion to the archaeologists of the country. And of course, I love to visit sometime Sri Lanka and visit all those fascinating archaeological sites of Sri Lanka. Finally, I must congratulate the archaeologists and the staff of the Department of Archaeologists of Sri Lanka on this occasion of celebration of 131st year of archaeology. I wish them a grand success. I cherish for their efforts to keep alive this archaeological heritage and handing over to the future generation and keep it alive for the posterity.